Welcome to High School Sports on the Harford Cable Network. I'm Don Morrison. Tonight we're at Patterson High School. It's a Chesapeake Division boys lacrosse game pitting the North Harford Hawks, the visitors, versus the homestanding Patterson Huskies. Let's talk first of all to Rich Tabling. Rich, the first-year coach at North Harford, but not really. You've been there for 5 years. This is your first year as head coach.
Yes, that's correct, Don. Yep, I've been at North Harford for 5 years coaching under Brady Green, and this is my first year taking over the program.
Well, you look back at John Grubb, the founder of the North Harford program, going back 4 decades, and there was such a tradition in North Harford going back that long in terms of excellence.
Yes, and that's a really good point, because one of the things we're doing now is really trying to, raise our culture and our standards in the program, and really producing all-around great lacrosse players and student athletes.
You had a tough year last year and you lose 15 seniors, but I know you don't want anybody to cry for you because this team, very, very competitive, coming in 3-2. You're a team that has a lot of young players, plus you've got that defensive line. I look at the senior goalie, the senior defenders. I tell you, you're a tough team to score on, I would think.
Yes, we do have a seasoned defense coming back, but one thing I'll talk about is the young guys who really have bought into our new culture and standards and are really committing the extra effort to get better, and I really think every day we get better as a team.
Look at this game tonight, of course, a key matchup against a team that's undefeated, a team that is a defending state champion. How do you compete with this team? How do you beat them?
Well, Coach Bellamy has a very well-oiled machine and has a great track record. And one of the, there's 3 things we really look to do tonight is stop transition and push transition, ground balls, and really possessions are the name of the game to keep it on our side of the field.
Your goals for this year, obviously, you're a growing team, you're building a program, you're in it for the long run.
Yes, Don. One of the things I always say is, high school sports in Maryland, there is one goal, and Coach Bellamy's achieved it last year, and we always have to drive towards a 2A championship, and because if we didn't, I think we would be falling short of our vision.
Rich, hang with me 1 second. I'm going to come over and talk to Jason Bellamy. Jason, I promised I wouldn't ask you about this record of great ability you've had the last year, but I need to ask you, winning the state championship, all the thrills you've had as a player, as a coach, how did that rank?
I mean, last year was a fun season, a great group of kids. It was a lot of fun to be around. They worked really hard. They set a goal early in the season, and they spent every day trying to achieve it, and they got what they got, winning a championship at the end. But last year was last year. We got a new group of guys this year, and new goals ahead of us for this season, and trying to find the right guys in the right spots to be successful this year.
Jason, I look at the record that you've had, winning region championships. You have a record of success going back 10 years in this program, so I know you're proud of your young men, and they do have a legacy to build on.
Yeah, I am proud. We have a nice group of kids, and we've had a great group of hardworking kids. We've got a great group of assistant coaches. You mentioned John Grubb earlier in the interview. I played at North Harford for him, and he's the assistant coach here with me for the last 4 years, so we certainly recognize the tradition that North Harford has, and his knowledge on our staff has been fantastic, and we're just trying to accomplish something new with this group this year.
I look at your defense, and you've got 2 freshmen back there on the defensive line, but you have a senior goalie. Talk about what they're trying to do with that group.
I love our defense because they're athletic, and the freshman that's been back there for us has played very well this year. He doesn't look like a freshman on the field, and he's really helped us out quite a bit. Will Pape.
I look at your balanced offense. You really are an attacking team.
Yeah, talented group. A lot of seniors on the offensive end. We're going to miss those guys. They're we got a few of them that have been 4-year players for us, and they've worked really hard over the years, and they've honed their skills, and they've played well together over the last couple of years, and they're driven kids, and that's fun to be around.
Rich was talking about the keys for North Harford to win. What do you have to do tonight to win?
Yeah, I think the important thing for us when we come out every game is to try to win the ground ball battle, stay out of the penalty box. I think if we can do those things, then I think that gives us a better chance to win.
Well, it should be a great one between North Harford and Patterson. You guys have a lot of things in common, including the fact you played at North Harford, and of course John Grubb was a longtime coach, and I know you have a lot of respect for their program.
I do. It's kind of shaped my life being there, and the mentors that I had when I was at North Harford. It kind of motivated me to become a teacher and coach. The experiences I had there at North Harford, and Coach and I every once in a while slide a North Harford shirt underneath our Patterson Mill stuff at practice, and we certainly those roots are deep for us. But we've really enjoyed building this program. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it should be a great program, and you have one special award you're going to do right before the game. Talk about what that's going to involve.
Yeah, we have a gentleman in our community that's really special to all our teams and our entire school community, Mitch Liebovic, who probably attends more events here than even Dr. Abel, the principal, and I do, taking photographs and capturing the memories of our student athletes and students in general and the things that they do. He lost his daughter 2 months ago, 2013 graduate of Patterson Mill, Alex, to Ewing sarcoma after her battle with cancer. We're going to kind of honor him tonight for all he's done for us.
Wonderful thing. More than just sports, it's the community involved. Jason Bellamy, thank you so much. Rich Tabling, thank you as well. Good luck to both teams. It should be a great one. North Harford versus Patterson Mill. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, we're with you at Patterson Mill High School just before our game starts for a special ceremony involving Mitch Liebovic. They are going to unveil a plaque and do some awards for a very tragic thing that Mitch, who was is a avid follower of sports here at Patterson Mill, takes pictures. He's been doing it for a decade or more. The Liebevics lost their daughter Alex about 2 months ago to a rare form of cancer, 24 years old, and the school is showing its appreciation for all that Mitch Liebovic has done, and of course the tragedy in the family. Great thing done here by the school. Jason Bellamy, the athletic director, and also the lacrosse coach leading the way. Our game just about ready to start. North Harford versus Patterson Mill. Held up just a moment for this ceremony that's going to get underway here in just a moment. Nice night here at Patterson Mill. A little bit chilly. The sun has gone down now, and the temperatures are probably going to ebb down into the 50s, maybe even the 40s. So it's going to be a nice, crisp night for lacrosse. Looking forward to a great Chesapeake Division UCBAC lacrosse game between two teams that know each other well, the host Patterson Mill Huskies and North Harford. Now here's the ceremony.
Harford Cable Network. With us tonight as student athletes, coaches, booster club members, and staff of Patterson Mill. Joining them is Mr. Mitch Liebovic. Affectionately known by Husky Nation as Mitch, he has spent countless hours over many years telling the story of students and families of our community through photographs. 2 months ago, Mitch's daughter, Alex, a student athlete of the class of 2013, passed away after a courageous battle with Ewing sarcoma. Alex was in veterinary school at the University of Florida before she returned home for treatment at Johns Hopkins University. Alex was passionate about her family and friends, traveling, and animals. Over the past 2 months, the response from all corners of the Patterson community in support of the Liebovic family has been nothing short of extraordinary. Tonight, the athletic department would like to present Mitch with a special gift, a thank you for all you have done capturing the special moments of our lives in photographs. We present you with this very special painting that captures your love of and dedication to Alex. This painting was completed by Patterson Mill art student Taylor Pencook under the supervision of art teacher Miss Allison Cuniglio. This is also being presented with a distinguished golden husky pin that signifies his value for our school community. We are all inspired to carry on Alex's spirit and determination and your strength and grace. To this end, today we rename our husky mascot after Alex's dog and companion, Dakota. We thank you for all you do for our school community, and we remain with you each day in support. Thank you to all who joined us this evening.
And that is the ceremony, a very touching ceremony. You can just feel the emotion of the love that is felt for Mitch Liebovic and his family, and of course the loss of his precious daughter. We'll go away and come right back with the beginning of our game. Don't go away from Patterson Mill. Well, welcome back to Patterson Mill, the home of the Huskies. Brady Green, so good to have you with us. The ex-coach at North Harford, so you know these kids. You gave up coaching last year, turned it over to tabling, but it should be a great game tonight. We've got two teams, North Harford coming in at 3-2, undefeated Patterson Mill, but this could be a game that depends on what? What do you see the keys of this game?
I think North Harford has got to win face-offs. I think that's going to be key. I think they need to clear the ball better than they have against quality teams this year so far. I saw them play against Harford, and they really struggled to clear the ball. I think that Harford's probably a little bit more talented than Patterson Mill, but Patterson Mill has some great athletes, so I think clearing the ball is going to be very key. And in the goal, we have Andrew Preston. He's an outstanding 4-year starter for the team. He's played very, very well this season. I think he's going to play a great game tonight and really step up. Patterson Mill, you know, they're 5-0 as you mentioned. Haven't lost a game since I'm guessing late in April last year, right through the playoffs, win the state championship. I think they just need to keep the ball rolling. You know, Coach Grubb and Jason are both masters of you know, changing the game a little bit. They're great at adjustments. They'll see what North Harford's doing and they'll make some adjustments. And North Harford will do the same. They've got a lot of quality on their coaching staff as well. Rich is a hard-working guy. You know, Ryan Arist is an outstanding defensive coordinator, and I think it's going to be a great game. I'd say 1 or 2 goals separates the end of this game.
Yeah, we look at last year when, as you said, Patterson Mill hadn't lost since April. Just 10-8 was the score that North Harford lost last year. These two teams have played one common opponent. That would be Aberdeen. Both have defeated Aberdeen. For North Harford, it was a 13-4 win. For Patterson Mill, it was 11-3. Now, I know that really doesn't say a lot because a different day, teams are different. But still, you know, you're looking at teams that are in the same category or in the same ballpark, actually.
Yeah. I think, like I said, 1 or 2 goal games, or 1 or 2 goals will separate this game, I'd say, at the end.
You also look at, again, at these two teams, Patterson Mill having won the state championship last year. Of course, you always lose a lot of your top players, but they've got a lot of players coming back. North Harford, yeah, they lost 15 seniors last year, but you look at that back line, Josh Blosser, Nick Mister, and Riley Deacon. Here are 3 seniors as your defensive players. You look at Blosser, who's 6'4", 215, Mister 6'2", 190, and Riley Deacon, 6 foot 180. And then you throw in the goalie, who's been 4 years. So that's like the Great Wall of China, I would think.
They're fast, they're big, they're strong, they're good buddies. They're a talented defense.
But you look at Patterson Mill, they are a talented offense. This Chance Urban, their senior, all-county last year as a junior, has already 11 goals, 7 assists, 5 ground ball pickups. He is just one of those players that he almost seems to be impossible to stop. Headed for Mount Olive in North Carolina next year on a lacrosse scholarship.
He's fantastic. His speed is unmatchable. He'll be the fastest person on the field, is my guess tonight. And not only is he fast, he's insanely talented too. He's got a great stick. He goes left and right. You know, he plays like a team. He's not afraid to feed as well. I'm sure, I didn't see the assist numbers, but I'm sure it's great.
He's got 7 assists as well.
And he's surrounded by talent. This is a very talented team.
Yeah, this Travis Karwatka, also their junior attack person, state champion in soccer. So, you know, you're talking about a team that's experienced the state championship in lacrosse. Also, some of the players who played soccer earlier this year, another state champion. And Brady, you know, as a coach, nothing breeds success like success.
That's right. Yeah, and on the other hand, you know, I'm certain North Harford's got that 5-0 record in their mind as well, and I think they'd love nothing more than to knock them right off of that pedestal.
Well, it's a very good point, and that's the one thing that Jason Bellamy said, let's not talk about my record. Let's just let that go. We joked about they call it the announcer's curse, that a guy's 10 for 10 on the free throw line, and as soon as an announcer says, hey, this guy hasn't missed a free throw all night, boom, clank, he misses it. So, you know, Jason is one of those guys that's a little superstitious. Let's just try to do this one game at a time and not, you know, think too much about what our record is.
That's right.
You saw the North Harford team being introduced to Patrick McDermott, Austin Borns, and Logan Wilson across the front line. Tyler Sandeman, Austin Smith, and Derek Cazzo. Did I say that name right?
Yes, Chiasso, yes.
Chiasso there in the midfield. Josh Blosser, Nick Mister, Riley Deacon across the back line, and Andrew Preston, the goalie. As you see the team dressed in green and gold, very familiar North Hartford colors.
That's right.
And now it's Patterson Mill. We talked about Chance Urban. You see him coming out, number 2. Number 1 is Travis Karwatka. And number 3, Nick Repke. They are the front line for this outstanding Patterson Mill team. Connor Madsen, we talked about him. He's one of the captains all-county last year as a junior. Kevin Dyke, a senior, number 15, 7 goals against Falston earlier this year. He's got 16 goals, 7 against Falston.
Yeah, that was last Friday night. I didn't get to see the game. I wish I could have, but as I'm told, North Hartford, Patterson Mill really had a great game, and I think it was close in the beginning, and then they just slowly pulled away. And that Falston team is talented.
We're talking now about their defense. We talked about North Hartford being experienced. On the other hand, Jack Brown, a freshman, Will Pape, a freshman, Evan Ely is a senior, so they've got 2 freshmen starting on their back line. Right now, to honor our country, here is our national anthem. Brady Green, we had a chance to see the flag during the national anthem. No wind tonight. It is a little bit chilly. Tell me about playing lacrosse. What would be the ideal conditions to play lacrosse?
Oh, I think this is perfect. Anything better than 40 degrees, windy and rainy, like in March, is great. So I think these kids are loving the weather today. They'll forget about any nip there may be in the air real quick. Yeah, I think this is about as good as it gets.
Now, Brady, one thing, this is a grass field. North Hartford plays on a turf field. Most of the fields in Harford County, in fact, I think all of them now are turf fields except for this one. Does that make a difference that Patterson Mill practices every day, plays on this field? North Hartford doesn't play on a grass field?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does. But remember, North Hartford does spend a lot of time practicing on a grass field that looks just like this one. So I don't think that will factor in too much. There'll be some missed ground balls, and it's a little tougher on goalies. But other than that, I think both teams will be well prepared.
And here's the face-off. And again, as we talked about this being a key to this game, who wins the face-offs?
Yeah, and North Hartford's been blessed with really good face-off guys over the years. Going back to Tim Lucky, I went to Towson. We had Jay James at Navy, Stephen Galbraith, West Point. Last year, Stephen Gedicke at York. 2 years ago. Really fantastic. And this kid, Zach Shepard's also really good. He's 6 foot something, strong as an ox, really good, talented face-off guy. Looking forward to seeing him do well tonight. On the other hand, no one better than Jason Bellamy to figure out how to take a strength away from you. He'll certainly do something to alter that if Zach starts running away with it.
12-minute periods just underway here at North Hartford, at Patterson Mill, I should say. North Hartford has the ball. They've been controlling the ball. Brady, what are they trying to do? It looked like they were setting up, playing some sort of a zone-type attack.
Yeah, I think they're going to, it looks to me like they're running a 2-3-1, pretty standard, maybe a little bit of motion, yeah. See the rotating triangles right there.
That's Austin Smith with the ball, by the way, the big 6'4", 170-pound junior, number 24. He's the center halfback or center midfielder that sort of keys the action. That's Chiazzo, Derek Chiazzo, number 14, the sophomore. Shot and the save. That's a nice save there by Justin Strouderman. We talked about the inexperienced backfield for Patterson Mill, but Justin Strouderman, a 2-year starter, so he's the steadying influence there, Brady.
Here's something that North Hartford lacked last year was speed on attack, and this year they have it. So they're going to be able to ride more successfully than they have in the past.
What's that call, Brady? They're going to reverse
Looks
it?
like it must have been offsides. I didn't see if 15 was across the line or not, but it sounds like that's what the penalty was.
Now, explain offsides to our fans. What has to happen?
Got to have 6 guys on one side of the field.
Okay. The official
Yeah.
picked that up right away.
You have more than 6, you got too many.
And no score. We're just underway. 2 minutes into the contest. 4 12-minute periods. Boys game a bit different than the girls game. It's an 80-yard field, goal to goal, whereas the girls play it at the end line. 10 players rather than 12. A few more subtle differences. Much more contact in the boys game than the girls game. North Hartford very patient at Brady. It looks like they're, just willing to keep the ball and try to get a shot rather than trying to go fast.
Yeah, and I think that's one of their strategies tonight will be to just possess the ball on offense. If they can keep the ball on offense, they're keeping the ball out of the strength of Patterson Mill.
Patrick McDermott passing the ball back out front. It comes. Again, this is Austin Smith. Smith being defended there by Will Pate. Another stop at the net by Strouderman. Boy, North Hartford has had this ball this entire, we're about 3 minutes into the contest here. They've had it down in the offensive end.
That's why it's so important at the faceoff spot. You got a guy that can win faceoffs. You can possess the ball. Patterson Mill's not really stretching out right now and trying to take the ball. They're just kind of settling in, letting North Hartford wheel the ball a little bit. If this continues, it wouldn't surprise me to see Coach Grubb maybe jump out on him a little bit.
Coach John Grubb, of course, the assistant coach here at Patterson Mill. So hard to say at Patterson Mill because he was in North Hartford, what, 40 years?
Something like that. I coached with him personally for 16, and he's a legend in the game in Harford County.
Well,
I don't know there's anyone better. And
flag is going to go down there. Hit from behind. Point on shot, and that's a goal. That's scored by Connor Madsen. He comes down to, as you notice, the flag went down. They didn't stop the play because Patterson Mill had the advantage. Madsen goes in and scores at 8-12. And so Patterson Mill has the ball for, 20 seconds, and they're ahead 1-0.
Depending on what the penalty was, I didn't hear. It might be wiped off. It looks like it is, yeah.
Picking it up.
Yeah. Penalty's wiped out because Patterson Mill scored.
Good job by the official again not to stop play because Patterson Mill did have the advantage there. Madsen, this young man, a 4-year varsity player, all-county last year. He won the C. Marklin Kelly Award. That's the 1A top player in the entire state. And so he won that last year as a junior. Headed for York College to play lacrosse and go into business administration. It's also all-county in basketball. We're talking about Connor Madsen. 3-sport player. Coming into the game, he had 13 goals. He's now got 14. Patterson Mill back on the attack again. That's Chance Urban, number 2. Brady, you talked about him, how fast he is.
He's just tough to deal with. He's playing attack. I think he's played some midfield in the past, and he's just so hard to stay with. I mean, he's got a quick move. I believe he plays football, and I think maybe even he's a running back. But a fantastic athlete and sees the field well. He's just a full package.
All-county as a junior last year was Chance Urban, one of the captains of this team for Patterson Mill. Again, 5-0 on the year. Had a close call against Winters Mill, winning 11-10. Also defeated Aberdeen, Falston, Liberty, and Perry Hall. That's their 5 wins. Bit over 7 minutes left in this first period. 1-0 the lead for Patterson Mill. Connor Madsen, the only goal of the game. Now the Huskies setting it up. It's Madsen again, number 13. There's Urban. Shot just bounces a bit wide of the net. Walked the field a bit, Brady, before the game. That's a very hard field, so that ball is going to bounce.
All the rain we had, in January and February, and snow, and past couple days, and even over the past couple weeks have been relatively dry. which is good for lacrosse.
Brady explained, and that ball went out of bounds, but Patterson Mill retained possession. How does that happen for folks who don't know?
Well, it's the closest person to the ball.
Uh-huh.
Used to be closest person to the end line, and then in the last several years they've changed it to closest person to the ball.
And again, that's Patterson Mill, closest to the ball. Oftentimes when you play behind the crease, you're going to be the closest to the ball.
True.
That shot was by Kevin Dyke, number 15.
You'll see the goalies sometimes chase after it as well if they think they have a shot.
Back out front it comes, setting it up. Inside 6 minutes, and a shot from about 20 yards out. That was, let's see if he turns around, we'll see a number. It looks like Dyke, number 15, and that's who it is, Kevin Dyke.
Kevin Dyke.
Now it's 2-0 at 5:53 left here. Well, that ball was I don't think the goalie ever saw it.
Well, the goalie screen, you got to understand when we're in our position, you know, it seems like, oh, well, he should have had that. But with all those bodies in the way, it's really hard for goalies to see the ball sometimes. And like I said before, Andrew Preston's really having a great year, and he's a fantastic goalie. He'll work some things out here.
Headed for Mount St. Mary's next year on a lacrosse scholarship is Andrew Preston, the 5'11", 185-pound senior. 43 saves on the year coming in. His 4th year playing lacrosse at North Harford. Here's that all-important face-off again, and Patterson Mill comes away with it. New player in the game was number 7, Zach Haskell, for Patterson Mill. Huskies in control, leading 2-0. Brady, I would assume if you're a North Harford team, you would like to have a low-scoring game. That defense being your calling card.
Yeah, definitely right. I think Coach Rich looking to score pleased right now. Although it's tough to possess the ball, like you said, for the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game and come out with no goals. You see Patterson Mill had the ball for a couple minutes now.
Oh, it's that shot again. That's Dyke. That's like a replay. Actually, you're watching live action, but it was exactly the same goal. Oh, you're saying 13.
I think that was Madsen.
Madsen 13, not 15, Dyke. Yep, you're right. It is 13. Thank you.
Look, very similar shot, though.
Madsen gets his 2nd goal of the game, so that one comes at 5:01. Madsen, who scored at 8:22 at 8:12, now has scored at 5:31. So it's a 3-0 lead. Brady, at some point, momentum is so important in this game.
Yeah, I think at some point you're going to see our North Harford defenders pushing out a little bit, getting their stick on the hands of these guys, because if they're shooting from the restraining box and scoring, you got to get their hand on their stick.
And there you saw
a stick on their hands.
Good job of in the truck there. You saw that replay of that shot by Madsen. That ball, gosh, I don't know what's the speed, maybe 80, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
And you're a goalie, all you've got's that stick with a big net on it. Here comes the Hawks now, trying to cut into this lead, down by 3-0. There's a shot a bit high and wide. That was Austin Bournes, the junior. Impressed Brady that Austin Bournes is a junior, yet he's one of the captains of this team. You almost never see that.
He's a great kid all around. I had him in class. I taught him. He's a great student. He's a great kid. Got a cannon of a shot. I think he's leading the team right now in goals.
Yeah, 14 goals and 8 assists. He's also, as you said, Brady, a 4.25 GPA student. So you talk about a student athlete. This is what a student athlete is.
Yep, he's a model.
.413, the clock has stopped as there are some changes made on the field. 3-0 is the score, as you see. Huskies leading, scored at 8:12, 5:53, and 5:01. North Harford looking to try to get back into the game, have something positive happen here. Nice job by Strawderman to come out and knock that ball away. Like North Harper was trying to set up something close to the crease, and Strodeman reached down and just knocked the ball away.
Yeah, that was a great read by the goalie. He saw the pass across the crease and just knocked it down.
Brady, we talk about goalies. Goalies are a special breed of people.
Yeah. In any, I mean, you know, I'm involved in soccer. Soccer goalies, same thing.
Yes.
Hockey, I watch. I mean, these guys are definitely, I'd say they definitely have a couple screws.
I'm glad you were saying that. We're just kidding, but they really have to be aggressive. They have to be fearless, and they have to have a short memory because, you know, if a goal scores, just forget that and, you know, play the next one.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned earlier, 90-mile-per-hour shots on
Yeah.
your thighs.
Yeah.
It hurts.
And I'm not sure if you've ever touched a lacrosse ball, but it is a hard rubber ball that leaves an imprint for days.
Yeah, I have Andrew tomorrow in class. I'm certain he'll probably have some pretty bruises on his legs.
Brady Green, who teaches science up at North Harford, in case you didn't know, the former coach who coached a long time with John Grubb when John was there, and then took over the program, 6 years ago, and coached as a head coach for 5 years.
Yeah, that's right. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of these guys, actually. Jason coached a couple years at North Harford, and of course John Grubb and the North Harford staff is just really great. Every one of them returned, with the exception of me. Nate Lucky runs the box like great, and the kids love him. He really motivates kids well. Rich is, you know, he just works so hard. He started that club with Brooks Brown, another North Harford graduate, out in Havre Grace, called Stripers, and has done really nice things with that. And he's so dedicated. I mean, he'll, you know, it wasn't uncommon for Rich to call me from Cleveland on a game day, saying, "Hey, I'm catching a flight in an hour. I'll see you at 6." You know.
Wow. This is Rich Tabling, and of course the new coach at new coach. I say he was an assistant there for 5 years, but now is the new head coach. And so yeah, he's a young man who's not a teacher, so he works a job and then comes out and coaches these young men. What a shot! That's in the corner. That ball was that's Chance Urban. Goodness gracious, that was down at the feet of goalie Andrew Preston. I don't think he ever saw that at all.
Yeah, they're finding a spot right around that same area. You've seen 3 goals now from that same spot, and
here's the replay. You'll see, and you can watch Urban here how he'll set it up. This is Urban number 2.
see,
Winds up and the ball right at the foot of the goalie. Almost impossible to make that stop.
defenders are going to have to get out and put some sticks on their hands, or they're going to keep taking that shot. And it's really tough for our goalies to see those.
1:59 now. It is a 4-0 lead for Patterson Mill. If you could have drawn it up, if you're Jason Bellamy, you couldn't have drawn it up any better. Vice versa, Rich Tabling, this is not how you wanted this game to start.
Now, they are getting the face-off wins, which is, you know, one of what I would consider to be the keys of the games. They're possessing the ball in offense. There's not a lot of turnovers. Just Patterson Mill's taking advantage of any opportunity they get.
Zach Shepard getting that face-off for North Harford. Hawks looking to try to get on the board. Obviously, you know, that first goal is so important to break the momentum that Patterson Mill has established.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see Coach Tabling take a timeout if Patterson Mill gets another goal, just to talk to his kids, calm them down a little bit, let them get their heads back in the game.
Down he goes, no penalty. It looks like he went down on his own merit. By the way, this team who won the state title last year, we're talking about the Huskies, they also were the state finalists in 2011, 2013. They won the region championships in 10, 11, 12, 13, and then again last year. So Jason Bellamy, the only coach this team has ever known, he's been the head coach of the varsity for 10 years. They were JV to begin with. So, you know, he has built this program. And we talked about legacy, the fact that success breeding success, and that's exactly what they've established. And of course, what North Harford now is attempting to do as well.
Yeah, Jason has he works really hard at this game. He studies film. He just does it all. He organizes things. He's a member of about 10 different you know, lacrosse organizations. Leads probably half of them.
Yeah.
You know, he loves the game. He's a competitor, and he studies it. I mean, clearly he's learned a lot from Coach Grubb as well.
You're talking about he's the MPSSAA Lacrosse Region Representative, the Maryland State Lacrosse Coaches Association Board Member, co-director of the Harford Lacrosse Camp, director of Harford Fall Lacrosse. I think the guy lives, eats, and breathes lacrosse.
Yeah, he does.
This is Madsen with the ball.
And so does Coach Grubb. You talk about a guy who's got some honors. He's pretty much, I don't think there's a Lacrosse Hall of Fame that John isn't in already.
Absolutely.
He's a member of North Harford's Hall of Fame. He's a member of Towson University Hall of Fame. He's a member of U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Actually, I think he's being inducted into that in the next couple of weeks, actually.
Yep. And one of the most modest and humble guys that you'd ever want to meet.
Yeah.
That's the end of the first period. We talk about the guys who founded lacrosse. You go back and look at Frank Mazzanotti, our partner at Edgewood, who did so much to begin the program. And you also look at I'm trying to remember some names now that are escaping me. The young man who just died not too long ago from Bel Air.
Bruce Hart?
Bruce Hart, thank you so much. Yeah, Bruce was one of those founding fathers. But
yeah.
John Grubb is a link to the past who's still doing it. 42 years he's coached this game of lacrosse, either as a head coach at North Harford and now an assistant at Patterson Mill.
It's unbelievable, really. And if you look around the county at the guys who are coaching in the county, half of them are guys that played at North Harford. I mean, Doug Testerman at Bel Air was a North Harford graduate. Nate Lucky on the sidelines here at North Harford graduate. Brooks Brown at Havre Grace, just I think last year was his, he retired from coaching last year. He was a North Harford graduate. It's pretty impressive, really, and he's just a fantastic person.
And of course, Jason Bellamy, another
Bellamy.
example. I think he graduated in '97, I think, sometime like that.
I think Jason was on that '95 state championship team.
Okay. See some of the crowd here tonight. A nice crowd. It's again a beautiful Wednesday evening. Temperature's going to go down probably in the high 40s tonight, so people are bundled up a bit. But spring has sprung here in Harford County, and good to see the trees budding and everything being reborn again. So it's just all good here in Harford County. And Brady, thank you again so much for being with us tonight. Our Frank Mazzanotti, I understand Frank is coming back up to the county like in the next couple of days. There's some sort of a lacrosse reunion coming on.
I wonder if that's the U.S. Lacrosse induction for John. I bet you it is.
It could be.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Frank, who's at Clemson now, teaching, of all things, at Clemson University. So proud of Frank Mazzanotti. He is the Edgewood High School Hall of Famer as well. We inducted him into the Edgewood High School Hall of Fame last year. He won, 4 state championships at Edgewood during his time there?
I know that when I was a senior in high school in 1989, I went to see Milton Wright, and they won the state championship that year, and they were really, really good. Frank's kid, Nick, our son, and daughter, Suzanne, I can't remember his daughter's name. But at any rate, they were both North Harford students. Nick was a fantastic lacrosse player.
You would expect that, being Frank's son.
Oh, yeah.
Anyhow, Frank, a very well-deserved retirement, sort of. But he's the kind of guy that is so active, I don't think he'll ever, quote, retire. So, well, here we are now in the second period. North Harford looking to try to get back on the beam here. They're down 4-0. Goals at 8-12, 553, 501, and 159. Madsen, Dyke, Madsen, and then Irvin scoring for Harford Tech. I should say, excuse me, for Patterson Mill. Where did that come from? Harford Tech? Not only the wrong field, but the wrong team. Patterson Mill, as Brady said, undefeated since last April, having won their league, and then going on to win the region title and the state title.
And not just did they win, they won convincingly.
Yeah,
Every game by 6 or 8 goals, maybe more. And to my knowledge, they return almost every kid. I think Blake Talon from last year graduated and is playing somewhere.
Andrew Preston with that nice save, and that's a big save. Preston that has to buoy his spirits a little bit. He's seen nothing but shots going by his ear, by his toes. Okay, we're looking at those results. They beat Smithsburg, did Patterson Mill last year for the state 1A championship. 18-8 was the score of that championship game, so that wasn't close. They beat McDonough 16-4 in the state semifinal, defeated Cambridge South Dorchester 15-8 in the 1A East Region Championship, beat Harvard Grace 12-6 in the 1A East Region Sectional, and then beat Joppatown 16-6. That started their run to the championship last year. That's Jason winning the state title. I mean, you know, you think about winning, being the only team left standing. There's another shot. There's another goal. My goodness. This team just come at you from every different direction. Trying to see a number that looks like it's number 7. Yeah, that's Zach Haskell, number 7, a midfielder in the ball game. Those Haskell scores at 9:42.
Yeah, North Harford is missing a key defender, Lucas Sexton, a sophomore. He played
Here's
actually
your replay. Watch Haskell here. He shoots the ball, and again, to the lower left-hand side of that crease, and it looked like Preston, I'm thinking you talked about it, being screened off. I don't think he ever really saw the ball until it was too late.
And 12-yard shots are, you know, you want to avoid them.
Yeah. And how do you avoid them? You have to have a defender on that player.
Got to get out on their hands.
So the strength of North Harford's team, their defense right now, quite honestly, hasn't shown itself. Andrew Preston has been under siege pretty much. And right back at it again is Patterson Mill with the ball. Brady, you comment on those silver helmets. They're a bit intimidating as well. It's like the Notre Dame, those golden domes they wear.
Yeah, they're really cool.
There's a left-handed shot and a goal. Looks like that's Madsen with his 3rd goal of the night at 9:01. 6-0 is the score. So Madsen, who, here comes your replay, you'll see how Madsen, number 13, avoids the defender and then left-handed shoots the ball down at the lower side of that net. And again, I just think Andrew Preston is, you know, a bit shell-shocked at this point.
Well, right there, the guy gets beat on a roll dodge. The slide comes a little late. You could see the hesitation on the slide. He thought about coming, and then he didn't, and then he realized it was too late.
13 goals on the year coming in for Madsen. Now he's got 16 free here, and we're still in the first half of this game. 8:58 and counting left in the second period. 6-0 as you see. It's been all Patterson Mill tonight so far. Last year on their way to the state title, Brady, you can help me. I think the score was 10-8 that Patterson Mill beat North Harford last year.
Yeah, that's right. It was a really good game. It usually is. You know, there's some rivalry here. You talk to the players and they'll tell you that, you know, Falston is a big rival, but you know, amongst the coaching staff, I think it's fun to play Patterson Mill just because of the camaraderie we have with their coaches.
Absolutely, it's sort of a friendly rivalry until they cross the white lines, and then it's you know, for like 48 minutes, it's pretty much a war. Flag will go down. Looks like Madsen is going to be assessed a penalty. He'll go off the field. Brady, how long? Is that a minute penalty or a 2-minute penalty? Do you know?
I think it's a 30-second penalty.
So they'll play
it wasn't a slash. It was, yeah, I think they called I'm not exactly sure what they called it. It was kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah, it looked like he was going
like
out
good
of bounds, was
defense
the North Harford player. Got just a little bit of a shove. The official kind of raised his arms. I had to call it.
Yeah.
It's like Madsen said to him, you know, that wasn't a foul.
Yeah, if I were on the sideline, I might have let him know disapproved. That was Austin Bournes.
Austin
22.
Bournes scores that first goal. So it's a shorthanded goal scored by North Harford's Austin Bournes. So the Hawks have broken through with 7:56 left here in the second period. 6-1 score. Here comes the replay. You'll see Austin Bournes.
It's good to see North Harford score on extra man. We've struggled in the past couple years. And you can see there, no slide, no one picked him up. They didn't account for him. And Austin, being a smart kid, a smart lacrosse player, he just snuck around there and stuck it in.
Austin Bournes, the junior, now has 15 goals on the year. Good to see, as you said, the Hawks score, because you don't want to see, even as a fan, you don't want to see a runaway game. Let's see if this goal gets the North Hartford Hawks a little bit buoyed.
You see that Coach Bellamy puts in a pole sometimes. You saw that number 25 was on the face-off that time. Sometimes if your face-off guys getting handled a little bit, they'll put a pole in there and let the pole harass him immediately. Almost give him the ball and then just start harassing him with the pole.
By pole, you mean a long stick?
Yes.
We have a penalty.
I think that's what I saw.
Have a penalty on the field, and I'm not sure what it is. It looks like it wasn't any kind of contact, but may have been for language that the official said, hey, we'll have none of that. So North Hartford is a man down now.
Looks that way.
Yeah, they've got a person on the sideline. Really not close enough to find out exactly what happened. So the Hawks a person down. Connor Madsen with the ball.
You don't want to give these guys an extra man.
Karwatka there, number 1, had it momentarily. Madsen with the shot. Wow.
I think that's in the parking lot.
Oh, if I'm Andrew Preston, I'm going to say, come on. Because he wound up. That shot came from down below his hip somewhere.
Just a brush, no slash.
Back out front. You see that Madsen is a very unselfish player as well. 13 goals coming in and 6 assists for Connor Madsen. 3-sport star, 4th year on the varsity. All-county last year. Also all-county basketball. As we said, headed for York College next year to play lacrosse and study business. Wow. Another open shot. That time not finding mark. Nick Redby with the shot, number 3. .626 and counting left here in the first half. Hawks down by 6-1. Ball knocked away, but I think they're going to say that they're going to give the ball back to North Hartford. That was Chance Urban, number 2, coming up and trying to get the ball away, showing the aggressiveness that he possesses as well. Football player we talked about, all county last year, is Chance Urban as a junior in lacrosse.
Yeah, the first couple years he was on the team, they would give him the ball to clear it, and he would literally just grab it and run like crazy, and no one could catch him.
That's pretty good offense. You have somebody with that kind of speed. Certainly an all-around player.
And they've got 4 of them.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to, as you said, one, you maybe be able to double team. 2, it gets more difficult. You got 3 or 4, then it becomes almost impossible.
I think Madsen, Dyke,
Repke.
Repke, and Urban all have double-digit goals.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at this experienced team you talked about, the fact that Patterson Mill has almost everybody back from that state championship team. Repke a senior, Urban a senior.
Dyke had 7 alone last Friday against Falston.
Yeah. Yep. He also had 4 goals and 1 assist, did Kevin Dyke, in the state championship game last year. And Brady, you know this, once you've tasted that state championship, once you've had that experience, you want to do it again, especially if you're a senior. You did it as junior, now it's your last, hurrah in terms of a high school player.
And to be honest, I expect this team to win it again.
A lot of pressure, but I'll tell you what, because as you know, one bad game, a couple of bad injuries or something. What a shot, what a save. Nice save by Andrew Preston. Great pass. Great shot. Preston went down and saved it with on both knees. Yeah,
I don't know the other teams in 1A this year. there's always one from, down in southern Maryland that's fantastic, like a Parkside or one of those teams down there always have a couple of great athletes and will surprise some teams. But I just think Patterson Mill's got a really fantastic team. They return almost everybody from last year. I would expect them to repeat.
Folks don't understand, a 1A, the schools in Maryland are divided 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. 1A being the lowest quarter in terms of population. How do they do that for student body?
Yeah, student body population.
Okay, is it 10th grade and up, or do you know?
I do not know.
And each year they reclassify it because they're shifting, populations. But this school, Patterson Mill, is again one of the smallest schools in the state in terms of size. Even though it's a big school, it's got like 1,500 students, but it's middle school and high school, so it only counts the number of high school students.
That's right. I think it's total population.
It's good in a way because you're playing smaller schools, but on the other hand, you still have to field the same number of teams. So you're here in the spring, you're doing track and field, you're doing tennis, you're doing lacrosse, you're doing baseball out of a limited population of students.
Right.
Of course, Matt Roseland, the baseball coach, the Patterson Mill baseball team, just year in and year out, one of the top teams, in the county. And there's a goal. Wow.
Urban.
Chance Urban, number 2. Urban gets his second goal of the game. That coming at 3:16 left here in the period, 7-1 now. Here comes your replay. You'll watch how Urban just, shoots the ball in one bounce.
The separation he gets with that move, he's just so fast and agile.
And again, if you are Andrew Preston, it's like...
Oh, he tracked it well, it's just a hard, good shot.
And he shot it at the lower left-hand side of that crease, if you're talking about the goalie. And really, unless you get lucky to be able to dive that way, your chances of stopping it.
Yeah, especially from that angle. He's Andrew's hugging the near post, and the kid shoots a perfect shot to the far post.
Yeah, he cut down the angle, but he found the opening. That's Kevin Dyke with the ball.
I noticed that statistic that he leads the team in ground balls, I believe, and many of them are off the face-offs.
Yeah, 28 ground balls coming into this game. Looks like there's a penalty. It's going to be against North Harford. Not close enough to the field to find out exactly what the penalty was. Now, Dyke is going off the field. Kevin Dyke, it looks like he's got a little bit of a leg situation. 3 minutes left in this half, in this period, till the half. Timeout is called on the field. Boy, this Patterson Mill team, Brady, everything that we had been told they were, you've had a chance to see them play. They are, as you said, so well-rounded. They play fast, they play hard, they play for each other.
They're athletic, they're coached well.
Yeah.
it's a good team. It's a good team.
That's a tough sort of a combination to go against. North Harford, of course, coming in, as we said, with a 5-3 record. They had defeated Rising Sun by 20-6. They had topped Aberdeen 13-4 and defeated Harford Tech 10-5 coming into this. Lost to Harford 13-2, also lost to South Carroll by 11-8. So by no means did they expect to come in and roll over, and they haven't. It's just that the Patterson Mill Huskies have just played so well.
Yeah, it's tough to stop that offense. Like you said, they got 6 guys on the field at one time. All can score. You can't just take one out of the game. Early North Harford possessed the ball a little bit. It looked good for them. Would have been nice to see him stick one in early.
Yeah.
I think maybe it might have changed momentum a little bit.
Very good point. Yeah, they never seem to really be able to come up with a good shot, even though they possessed the ball for, 3 minutes at the beginning of the game. Get a chance to see the twilight here at Patterson Mill, just outside Bel Air. Beautiful, beautiful night. Again, a little bit chilly, but yeah, it's early spring. What is this, April the 10th? Yeah, so a very nice day, and looking forward to, we used to call it when I was coaching at Aberdeen, baseball weather. That's when you actually could hit a ball and not want to hit it, if you know what
Right.
I mean. It's like 1,000 bees would come into your hands when you hit a ball when it was so cold.
I'm in contact with Coach Tabling all the time. We talk, and he asks me pretty much every time, "Do you miss it? Do you miss it?" And one of the things is, that March weather is brutal.
Whoa. March 1st, when the snow is on the ground, and it starts to be getting really good weather. Maybe at the end of April.
Yeah.
And your season is just about over. Patterson Mill with the ball.
How patient they are. You had a cutter that may have been open. Some teams may have forced it into him, but Patterson Mill just waits patiently for the perfect opportunity.
There was the chance. And they make it look so easy, just catching the ball, passing the ball. If you've never tried it, I have a couple of times. It's tough. You get the ball in that net and you try to pass it, but they're pinpoint passing.
It's a fast game, and not to mention you got 6-foot some defenders chasing you with a 6-foot long stick.
Scary. Great interception by Urban. He's able to get close enough to retain possession for Patterson Mill. No, actually they give it to North Harford. It looked like Urban was closest. What do I know? I'm 50 yards away. And I'm old. My eyesight is failing.
It was a good clear.
Yep. Come the Hawks now.
You might want to hold it for a little bit, but they're down by 6 goals. They might go after the net.
Yeah. Yeah, with 1:39 left here in this first half, in the second period, actually. I think that was, J.T. Dooley, Dooley, who brought the ball down there, number 28.
Yeah, he's a great kid. He came up and played a little bit of varsity last year for us, and he's typically a defensive midfielder. And he's just a guy that will run 100 miles per hour for you for as often as you want him to, and just a good kid.
Those are the kind of kids you want on your team, the selfless kind. Hawks looking to find the opening here. Well, nice Strouderman with the save. Nice hard shot there. Looked like it had a chance. That was Austin Smith with the shot. And there's the bouncing shot and the goal. Scored by number 10, Tyler Sanneman. Sanneman, his second-year starter. Sanneman came in with just 1 goal in the year. He now has 2. So with 38 seconds left, here comes your replay.
You could see him just working around the crease. Wasn't even really open, just made the best of it.
Shot it at the feet of Strouderman. The ball bounced high and went over the left shoulder. And so the second goal scored for North Harford. Tyler Sanneman. Tyler, a junior, 5'10", 145-pounder, plays soccer and basketball in addition to playing lacrosse. I see what you mean by that long pole. Timeout with 29 seconds left. Why would you call a timeout with 29 seconds, Brady?
He just wants to set up something that he can maybe, they may attack the goal. He may just give it to one of his kids to run it back behind the net and just kind of burn timeout. My guess is he's going to go after the goal. They probably have a 15-second play. We'll call them quick hitters. And they'll, maybe dodge with one guy and try to pop someone open somewhere. And these guys see each other so well.
On the other hand, if North Harford could score down by 7-2, they were down 7-1. Now they've cut it to 7-2. That would be such a momentum builder going into the half. Always ask coaches and Brady, as a former coach, what would you say if you were North Harford to your team coming out into the second half?
Well, I'd say that 5 goals in lacrosse is in a game that in a game that you can score really quickly. I'd say that we're not out of the game, and I'd make a couple defensive adjustments. I think they need to stretch out on the ball a little bit and get hands on those Patterson Mill shooters, and just keep at winning those face-offs and possessing the ball.
10 seconds. There's the shot. Going to be a little bit high and wide. shot was by Nick Repke. Repke, who was the captain of the volleyball team. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, a long, long shot.
Oh!
Now that would have been the equivalent of a full court shot in basketball. Well, we have reached the half now with a 7-2 score. The Pattersonville Huskies scored the first six goals of the game. North Harford came back and they've scored 2 of the last 3. They're still down by 7-2. We'll take a break. We'll come back with second half action in just a moment. We're back with you at Patterson Mill, where the Huskies have come out and have a 7-2 lead here at the halftime. Brady, they scored the first 6 goals of the game before North Harford was able to get on the board. What have you seen? What has Patterson Mill done to be so dominant?
Well, they've got some shooters on offense, clearly. I think Patterson Mill's just doing what they're best at. And North Harford, I imagine, made some adjustments. Hope to see their defenders stretching out a little bit and getting on the hands of these kids that are shooting from the restraining box. I'd expect to see that. Problem with that is when you stretch out against guys that can run like these guys can, then you set yourself up for getting beat on dodges. So it's a tough situation. I hope North Harford can make it a better game.
Yep. Connor Madsen with 3 goals and Chance Urban with 2 goals. They are the leading scorers for the Patterson Mill Huskies. Sandeman has a goal and Borns has a goal for North Harford. So that's where we are, 7-2, as we start the final 24 minutes of this contest. Patterson Mill coming in at 5-0, North Harford at 3-2. Of course, obviously they switch sides, as you know. The gold-shirted North Harford Hawks going from right to left across your TV screen, actually from left to right. Timeout on the field with 16 seconds into the, what's that all about, Brady? Do you have any idea?
No, I'm not even actually sure who called timeout.
No.
Probably to save possession. I don't know what team called it, and I'm not sure what team had possession, to be honest. So that's my guess. Probably North Harford called a timeout to save possession before the kid got knocked out into the penalty box there.
Yeah, that's unusual to have a timeout with 16 seconds. How many timeouts do you get a half?
You get 2 each team, and that being said, probably a good time to call it because North Harford really needs some offensive possession. So if the kid would have been knocked out there, there would have been a turnover. And then next thing you know, Patterson Mill's on offense again, and that's where Patterson Mill wants to be, North Harford wants to be.
So the Hawks do retain possession, and they will see if they can cut into this big lead. Here they come, again, going from right to left across your TV screen.
Good clear. And you saw, you had asked me earlier about offsides. You saw number 24, that's, I think it's Austin Russell. He probably, or Austin Smith, I'm sorry.
Smith, yeah.
His dad's name's Russell, sorry. Austin raised his stick up in the air. That was indicating to the defenders that they could cross the line, so they wouldn't be offsides. But you don't see it as often in high school as you do in Lake Bracken.
Overshooting on the pass.
That's offside, see?
Yeah, number 9 there just was not able to stay onside. So it was Nick Mister who came across the line. So it is Patterson Mill ball. And there you see an unforced error, right, where a bad pass coming from near the net, and so North Harford gives up possession of the offensive end.
Yep, and look how you see North Harford stretched out a lot further here, just like I suspected. Hopefully getting their sticks on the hands of those shooters.
But as you said, that does open up the lanes of attack.
You got a guy like Urban right now who would love to probably try to run by. That's Nick Mister, I believe, number 9. Very talented defender, strong, fast.
Nick, a third-year starter. Could play lacrosse at Harford Community College, and that's a great decision.
Yep.
Harford Community College has a wonderful program, started by Frank Mazzanotti, actually, after he left Edgewood. And what was it, 3 years later, they were in the national championship game. Dyke with the shot.
Left-handed.
And it is the score. Run. Kevin Dyke. That's his second goal of the game.
You mentioned Frank Mazzanotti, and Harford Community College. There's been a couple. I think Tim Snyder, is he still the coach there? He
I'm
was
not sure.
another North Harford graduate.
We're going to see the replay here. You'll
Timmy.
see how Kevin Dyke is able to just fire the ball.
Left-handed on the run, tough shot.
Well, good job by our cameraman there to be able to watch that ball go right into the net.
Timmy Pistol, another North Harford graduate, coached at Harford Community for a while.
Obviously not what you wanted if you're Rich Stabling to see happen, and that is to come out and see the Patterson Mill Huskies put a point on the board after you had cut it to 7-2. Now it is 8-2 with a 6-goal deficit.
What a ground ball. I mean, fast break, 4-on-3. Oh, well defended.
It was well defended. It looked like number 26, was that Riley Deacon making that defensive play?
Yeah, I think so. Riley had an injury last year and didn't play at all. Had a, well, it slipped my mind. He was injured and didn't play at all last season.
Oh.
And we missed him.
Riley now a senior. Obviously, this is last hurrah, so as a senior, you want to go out, on a high note. We talked about the championship that that Patterson Mill won. Most of these kids were juniors last year when they won it.
Right.
Obviously, that was sweet, but even sweeter would be a repeat to go as a senior, to go out as a 2-time state champion.
And I haven't seen C. Milton and Bel Air play yet this year, but they've beat Falston well on Friday night. They're winning currently. Anything could happen still. I hope North Harford can come back a little bit.
Penalty flags go down. Well, that was Connor Madsen. I don't know if you saw that or not, but he reached out and took the ball away, and on defense, and took it all the way back. Madsen is just an outstanding player. 4th year on the varsity, started as a freshman. Looks like the penalty is going against North Harford. 8:59 left here in the 3rd period. It's an 8-2 lead with 7-2 at the half, and now Dyke has his 2nd goal for Patterson Mill to build the lead up to 8-2. And now a man down for North Harford. Husky showing a great deal of patience. A great pass off the pipe. Well, that was some great passing, Brady, don't you think?
Yeah, they moved the ball and see each other really well.
The ball was just a little bit high, hit the pipe, and went off. Patterson Mill retaining possession. Kevin Dyke, 2 goals.
Nice save.
Wonderful save. We're just taking that ball, Andrew Preston, right out of the air. That was point blank. Nice scoop, that ground ball. We talk about that stat, and Brady, how important is the ground ball?
Oh, I mean, it's really important, and these kids that will spend some time in the weight room, and they're the guys that do that little bit of extra on the off season, and it really makes a difference.
Brady, sorry to interrupt you, but Madsen, he was just weaving his way through the defenders.
Yeah, he's feeling it right now.
We talked about Chance Urban. We talked about Connor Madsen. This team is just speckled with stars, people who are outstanding. Again, in a small program, meaning a 1A school.
You look at their sideline. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 subs. One doesn't have a helmet on, so they've seven guys in the box.
And we emphasize tennis, track and field, lacrosse, and baseball. So hard many times to have one good program when you have a small school, but to have 3 or 4 great programs.
And they won a basketball state championship just recently, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They, yeah, yeah.
Maybe 2 years ago.
I think you're right. Just great athletes here in the southern tier of Bel Air, just about 3 miles south of Bel Air. School opened, what, in 2005, I think, something like that?
Somewhere around there.
Great passing.
Boy.
Is that a goal? Yes, it is. And is that Dyke again?
I think it was 15.
That would be Kevin Dyke.
Yep.
I mean, that ball is just moving so fast, it's almost like a hot potato.
They're skipping passes. They're just doing everything right. You know, they
Here comes your replay. A shot again by Dyke. That's 2 goals in a row here in the second half, making it 9-2. Dyke now has 3 goals. So he joins Madsen, who has 3, and Urban, who has 2. Just an impressive performance by Patterson Mill. We looked at their team and we said if they have a weakness, it might be their defense where they're young, but their defense is about outstanding as well. Hawks now looking to try to cut into the lead. Jack Brown. Jack is a freshman, a football player also, number 22.
And looking at North Hartford's starting offensive players, there's a sophomore and 4 juniors and 1 senior.
That was Derek Chiazzo. Did I say that name correctly?
Yes.
Derek Chiazzo, that number 14 who made that shot. That's one of the sophomores you were talking about.
That's right.
Just look at the crisp passing that Patterson Mill is doing. That's Chiazzo looking to shoot, fires it, and gets the goal. Derek Chiazzo from about 20 yards out. The sophomore scores. That's his 12th goal of the year. And that'll make it now 9-3. You'll see the replay here of Derek Chiazzo, the 5'10", 150-pound sophomore.
Yeah, Derek's a wrestler. He's a heck of an athlete also. I think you'll see his name being called a lot in the future.
He just wound up, left his feet, Brady, and fired that ball in for the goal. So now 12 goals and 3 assists on the year. You mentioned he is a wrestler, and so you can see that aggressive nature.
He can face off as well. He's a very good face-off midi. Nice ground ball.
A little bit of extracurricular activity going on there. And referees do a good job of separating, maintaining order. 5:24 left here in the third period. Chance Urban in the middle of that. Chance, of course, a football player, as we said, so he's used to mixing it up on the field. All County last year as a junior. Headed from Mount Olive in North Carolina on a lacrosse scholarship. Mount Olive is one of those Division II schools that is just a lacrosse powerhouse. A 2-minute penalty. It looks like Urban has been ushered off the field for 2 minutes. So North Hartford will have the advantage for the next 2 minutes. Looking for the opening. Hawks retaining possession. Strawderman with the save. Kevin Dyke loses the ball and gets it back, loses it again. Flag goes down, and it looks like
it's going to be even.
Yeah, it looks
5
like
versus 5.
North Harford will be assessed a penalty. A little bit of aggression coming out on both teams. You can see maybe a little frustration on the part of the Hawks.
Yeah, I think so. They're still in it. 6 goals. You know, they had an extra man opportunity right there. And they've been really good this year on extra man. Coach Tabling's done a really nice job with them. And they've got a good, nice percentage. I forget what it is, but it's, you know, right around 50 or maybe a little better than 50% on their extra man offense.
Scoring a goal with when you're up a man.
Yeah.
4 minutes and 39 seconds plus the 12 minutes of the fourth period. So you're right. With over 16 minutes to go, you know, you're not out of the game, but you have to get started right now.
You need to start taking care of the ball and taking advantage of some opportunities here. Now Patterson Mill has the ball with 5v5, and they've probably got 5 really outstanding athletes on the field right now.
We talked about their defense, and again, you want to say because they're young on defense with Jack Brown, a freshman, and Will Pape, a freshman, but you know, they are good. They have played well defensively. North Harford has not had many opportunities. They seem to be able just to converge to the ball.
Well, that's Coach Grubb's thing. He was a defensive player at Towson University, and he's really just knows his stuff. You know, after 40 years, he knows all the adjustments. He'll make it really tough on you, on your offense to score.
So even both teams are down a person.
Look at the speed on this kid.
The kid is Urban, Chance Urban. You're right, it's like everybody else is at 1 speed. He's at a speed and a half.
A whole nother level.
Open.
Nice save.
Nice defensive play. That was Andrew Preston, the goalie. Looks also like Nick Mister, number 9, who was able to disrupt the timing there.
There's another unforced error.
Yeah. Repke with the ball. Seeing some new numbers in there for Patterson Mill. Looks like now the Huskies are going to be at full strength. Great pass, great conversion. That was from Repke. And it looks like the goal was scored by
Matt Gallagher.
Gallagher, one of the new numbers we talked about, Matt Gallagher. You'll see this great pass. Matt Gallagher converts it. Great pass, great catch, and great shot.
You see the first slide was there, it was coming. Second slide was a little slow. They just dumped to the crease, and he's one-on-one with the goalie.
10-3 is the score. That score at 3-11. Just a great goal. Of all the goals they've scored tonight so far, that looked like the prettiest goal in terms of being able to make the pass.
Yeah, that was classic. You passed to where the slide came from, and that's exactly what he did. Found the guy on the crease. Easy goal.
Connor Madsen, who made that pass. Huskies led by 4-0 at the end of the first period, led at 7-2 at the half. Now they're up by 10-3 with 2:52 left in the third. Hawks looking for the opening.
I think that was Tyler Sandeman again. His second tonight.
Yeah, his second goal of the game.
Goal number 10, Tyler Sandeman.
You'll see this replay here as Sandeman, number 10, scores his second goal of the game. Just a one-on-one or by yourself goal.
A great bounce shot.
Right at the feet of Strotterman.
So many kids want the highlight goals, high to high, you know, hit the corners, but there's nothing like a bounce shot.
I was going to ask you that, Brady. What is the most difficult shot for a goalie to stop?
Yeah, and when especially on this grass, you know, you train the kids. You hear them, you know, years with Coach Grubb, he'd say, paint the post, and, you know, hit the ball on the ground right at about the crease line. And on grass like this, it's a tough shot to save.
Urban fakes the shot. Brady, you said it, just so skilled. They're passing, they're cutting. Such a fundamentally sound team, talking about Patterson Mill.
Yeah, you don't see them turning the ball over very much. They take care of the ball. You know, they've played together for 4 years, a lot of them. They know each other well. They know their tendencies. Here's where North Hartford struggled a little bit against Harford. Was clearing the ball. There we go. What a great catch.
That was a great catch.
That was Matt Biederman, I'm pretty sure. Number 16.
Number 16 is
another sophomore.
Matt Biederman, the sophomore midfielder, 5'8", 155, first year on the varsity.
Yeah, we brought him up at the end of the season last year for a game or two in the playoffs, and he mixed it in right away very well. The outstanding athlete.
That's Patrick McDermott, number 5, who was chasing the ball down.
Yeah, that's the only senior out there on offense right now.
Bourne's a junior, Logan Wilson a junior. You're right, you look at that North Hartford team and they are full of young people, especially on the offense. Their defense, of course, they have a senior goalie and 3 seniors on the defense. Loading up, shooting. Ball seemed to slip out of his net just a little bit.
Oh, nice. Oh, boy.
Urban comes up with it. Great pass. Madsen.
Really
Urban
unselfish.
To Madsen.
He could have taken it himself.
Absolutely.
But he dumped it, gets the assist. Great goal.
For Madsen, his 4th goal. Urban with the assist. You'll see this great pass. And there you saw it. Just as you said, Brady, he could have shot the ball and perhaps scored the goal, but he saw his teammate doing the pass perfectly. Madsen caught it, one-timed it right into the net. How impressive this team is.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very talented. I saw Harford play North Hartford in the first game, and they looked a little rough. That was the first game for North Hartford and for Harford. But I'll tell you what, this Patterson Mill team, I'd say they'd give Harford a heck of a game.
Harford is what, a 2A team?
Yes.
So they wouldn't play them in the state playoffs.
No.
But,
yeah, but they're a perennial powerhouse in Baltimore County.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to follow scores as easily this year because of Lax Power, the website where we all kind of found scores is now no longer operating.
Oh.
And it was real nice for coaches to be able to check out scores and whatnot. And that's down now, so harder to see. But I understand that Towson is maybe the team to beat in Baltimore County this year.
Madsen with the ball. Strotterman with that save. And that is the end of the 3rd period. 11-4 is the score. Madsen with his 4th goal, and Kevin Dyke has 3 goals. Chance Urban with 2 goals. 11-4 now as we enter the final 12 minutes of this game.
Tonight's match is being streamed live on the Harford County Cable Network website, www.facebook.com.
A 7-goal lead, not insurmountable, but tough.
Tough, yeah.
Especially when you have a team like Patterson Mill. They're not going to take the foot off the gas. They're going to keep going, trying to score.
Channel 7 Armstrong, 21 Comcast,
Hope you've enjoyed this game, and Brady Green, so good to have you along. We're missing our partner, Frank Mazzanotti, who's now in South Carolina enjoying the sunshine. "12 minutes left in this game, this final period." As we said, the Pattersonville Huskies coming in undefeated. It looks like that they are going to go, if things go as it seems to be going, they'll be going to 6-0.
You had mentioned Frank Mazzanotti in South Carolina. I think Clemson. You said he's teaching at Clemson?
Teaching at Clemson, yeah.
I think John Grubb's brother, Buff, is a coach of their Clemson's lacrosse team, their club lacrosse team.
Huh?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I wonder if they've maybe
I'm sure they've made
gotten
connections.
together.
I saw a picture of Frank. In fact, Frank sent it to me with Dabo Swinney, the football coach for Clemson. They've become good buddies now. Does that surprise you?
Not at all.
We talked about at halftime, you were greeting some of your friends, and I said, it's like being with Frank Mazzanotti. He was down there politicking the entire time. Frank, it's time to go back on the air. Well, here we go.
North Harford
now.
has a great community, and there's a great group of parents here, a great group of kids. I've done my 22 years at North Harford, and I wouldn't exchange it for anything.
Yeah, it's a great, great community. Talking about your dad, Ed Green, who was a great assistant principal and principal in the Harvard Grace area for many, many years.
Yeah, he had some good times in Harford County Public Schools.
Here come the Huskies now with 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Up by 11-4. They led 4-0 at the quarter, 7-2 at the half. 11-4. Nice save. Save by Andrew Preston. Seven of the Patterson-Mill starters are seniors this year. Again, remember those seniors were all juniors last year in that state championship team. So, as you said, you never want to put pressure on a team because on any given day, but they look like the odds-on team to beat. We'll have to say that. Somebody's going to have to play a whale of a game to disrail this team.
Yeah, they're talented in every spot.
Great pass, unable to make the conversion though. Hawks retain possession of the ball. Coming up on the 10-minute mark left in the game. Austin Smith. Talked about that Patterson-Mill defense. Again, we know the offense has just been outstanding, but I've been so impressed with the way they have played defensively. And there's a shot from way up top.
There's the cannon I was talking about.
That's Austin Bournes. You'll see this shot. Let's see if we can watch this shot go in. That ball was shot from, what, about 25 yards out?
Yeah, right around the restraining line. Wow, right in the left corner. Beautiful shot.
Strouderman had no chance to stop it. What a shot by Bournes. That's his first goal of the night. Actually, no, his second goal of the night. He had 14 coming in, so he's got 16 now. So Bournes scores at 10-12. Makes it 11-5.
Yeah,
So
Bournes
back
is
within
definitely
6.
Bournes is definitely the North Harford's go-to guy on offense, leading the scoring. Last year he played a lot midfield actually.
Bournes still just a junior. 14 goals and 8 assists coming in.
Nice ground ball.
That's Logan Wilson with the ball. Logan the junior, second year on the varsity. Nice spin move. Good defense though by Patterson-Mill, but a flag will go down. They'll call a halt to the play. It looks like they're going to penalize Patterson Mills, so the Hawks will be up a man. .938. 11-5 as you see the score. So the Hawks will be up a man. Let's see if they can get a bit closer here with 9:38 left in the contest. Alex Capurso in the ball game for Patterson Mill. And a goal is scored at 9:28. Looks like that goal by Patrick McDermott.
And Coach Tabling's really done a great job with this extra man offense.
You'll see the replay here. Good pass. And a great shot from right in front of the crease by McDermott. I didn't catch who made that pass, but it was a great pass.
I think it was Bournes.
Number 22, could have been. So McDermott has the goal at 9:28, makes it 11-6 now. Back within 5.
Nice check. Oh.
Ball stays in play. Scooped up by Patterson Mill. It's Jack Brown with the ground ball. He's still got the ball, and the flag will go down. North Harford fans, you may have heard in our field mics, not real happy about that call.
Good job, Nick.
9:02 left in the contest. North Harford has scored the 2 goals here in the 4th period. Referees sorting it out.
Not exactly sure what that penalty was.
No, I'm not either. Looks like it was against the Hawks, obviously, so they're playing a man down.
Look, Patterson Mill probably burn a little bit of clock here before they take a shot. Oh.
Or not. As Chance Urban fires that ball from down around his knees. It did go a little bit high.
I think it's probably around the Harford Mall at this point.
Still rolling. Just so impressed with this Patterson Mill team, and the Hawks fighting back. They've got a lot of heart, but they've run into a buzzsaw here tonight.
Well, they haven't given up. They're working hard still. They have each other's back. They haven't.
Scored the 2 goals here in this 4th period.
The skip pass there, and then another cannon shot.
Yep, Urban over to Madsen. Madsen shot a bit high. They just pass the ball so well.
And they see each other so well, and I mean, that's a very difficult pass to make, skipping 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about 35 yards to pass. Oh, another shot just a bit high and wide. Urban with the shot. So impressive too. They don't need to wind up so much. Urban and Dyke and the others we're talking about.
Yeah, they're strong.
Able just to, with a flick of a wrist, to put so much speed on the ball.
Yeah, I'm guessing these kids spend some time in the weight room.
You think? We talked about building a legacy, building a program where you have success, and then success breeds success. We talked about the championships this team has won. Region champions in 10, 11, 12, 13, and 18. Capped by that state title last year. Dyke going through about 3 or 4 of those North Harford defenders, able to maintain possession. Coming up on the 7-minute mark left in the contest. Urban. Good job by Preston.
Number 15, Nixon Paglio. He's a freshman, LSM.
Long stick midi?
Long stick midi, yeah. A lot of talent. Really fast, athletic.
Campaglio, as you said, just a freshman, 5'8", 140 pounds. Played varsity basketball as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think John Carroll really wanted him to come play, or him to come play lacrosse for him, and he elected to come to North Harford. His sisters went to North Harford. One of them was a star in the drama, in the theater. A couple lead roles in musicals, and the current sister is a fantastic girls lacrosse player.
It's so nice to have a family of stars that come to your school. Keep asking the parents, do you have any more children you could send us? Travis Karwaka there with the ball, number 1. Preston with a nice save. Here come the Hawks. And a bit high on that pass. 5:41 left. If you're looking for positives for North Harford, they, after the half, have tied the score at 4-4. Each team has scored 4 goals. They were down 7-2 at the half. Now 11-6.
Yeah, they haven't given up. They're out there. They're playing hard. They're
absolutely.
They're getting some more ground balls.
And as you said, this is sort of the unmentioned rivalry. You know, you think about Falston, North Harford, or you think about Patterson, Mill, Bel Air, but these two teams in lacrosse especially, you know, over the years, they have been competitors. I think in the last 5 years, maybe North Harford has defeated Patterson Mill 3 times. They've lost 2 in a row, I know. They lost last year 10-8, but
yeah. Yeah, I think I might have gotten that statistic wrong. I think we have beat them twice.
Okay.
And they beat us 3 times in the past 5.
You know, and last year, as I said, on their way to the state title, they defeat North Harford only by 10-8. So, again, competitive always when these two teams play.
Yeah, we know each other well.
I think that 6-0 lead that Patterson Mill got off to, scoring the first 6 goals of this game into the second period, that's just sort of, you know, when you're down 6-0, it's hard to come back.
Right. North Harford had a strong start. They win the first face-off. They possessed the ball for 3 minutes, you know, and just couldn't make anything happen.
Yeah. And then Patterson Mill scored at 8-12, 5:53, 5:11. So they scored those 3 goals within a 2.5, 3-minute period.
Yeah, you keep mentioning the experience that Patterson Mill has and the seniors on the team. And you look at North Harford's offensive 6. Only one of them was a starter last year. That's Austin Bournes.
Yeah.
But I suspect North Harford's going to creep up in the rankings again in Harford County soon. They've got a very nice JV squad coached by Russell Smith, really good coach. And John Wright, another North Harford graduate. Played for Coach Grubb, won a state championship with him.
Here's a runaway and the shot. Great breakaway. That score at that time by number 3, Nick Repke.
Yeah, these guys are really good in transition.
Who are these guys? 12-6 now the score. That goal coming at 3:47. Here you'll see the replay. Just, they hit each other so well on the run. Imagine how hard that is to be able to catch the ball, to throw the ball, to lead your receiver that way, and then to catch it, and then almost one time it catch it and shoot without even stopping.
It requires a lot of concentration.
So Repke has the goal. That's his first goal of the night. Madsen has 4, Dyke has 3, Urban has 2 for Patterson Mill. Bournes has 2 for North Harford. 3:40 left in the contest. Some new numbers on the field. 29, Josh Etzel for North Hartford, sophomore. Timeout called. 3:27 left in the contest.
Yeah, there's a lot of young guys on this North Hartford team. They're gonna be a force in the next couple years.
Rich Tabling, I'm really impressed with his, I think he's told me he's 49 years old. His kids have grown now, and he really wants to dedicate himself now to this team for the long term.
Yeah. Yeah, Richie, his son, was a senior last year, attackman on the team. And his daughter, Grace, is, I teach her in class. She's a sweetheart. She plays on the girls' team, JV. Yeah, he loves lacrosse. He's a calm guy. He's, does his homework. He studies film. He does it all right. And I think you'll see this team getting back into county contenders.
Played at Harford, Grace. I think he's a Warrior by trade in terms of being an alumni. So
that's right.
And again, he's not a teacher. He works outside the school system.
Yeah, he's in sales and travels a lot. Like I said, it wouldn't be totally normal for him to call me from, I think his home base is actually in Cleveland. And frequently he was, at BWI, I'll be there in half an hour, and landing from a business meeting or whatever. Yeah, really dedicated.
Nice defense by Patterson Mill. It's Matt Gallagher with the ball, number 12.
Ryan Harris, the defensive coordinator for North Hartford, is a teacher here at Patterson Mill. He coaches their wrestling team, had a state champion last year, I believe. Really good defensive coordinator. His wife is a teacher at North Hartford.
Like you say, the combination between these two schools, they are such friendly rivals.
Yeah, I always look forward to this game.
2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting left in the game. Here's Urban. The speed. You mentioned it. Wow. That's just not fair.
No.
The flag goes down as Urban scores. 2:25.
They don't measure his 40 time. They measure his 0 to 60, I think.
13-6. You'll see the speed here. And that's in slow motion, by the way. Wow. I don't want to be Andrew Preston when he's coming in with that head of speed.
No.
So now Urban joins the multi-goal parade. He's got 3. Kevin Dyke has 3, and Connor Madsen has 4. (13-6) the score. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Huskies looking like that 6th win is in the bag now. 6-0 on the year, so the superstition that Jason Bellamy says, don't ask me about my record. Just let us play the game.
I suspect he's going to have a lot of more W's in this season.
I think you're right.
Nice save. That's a goal change now. You got, that's Tanner Showalter.
Yeah, Tanner Showalter, a junior. Now in the goal.
Really talented goalie.
And that was a heck of a save. I mean, Urban was like point blank looking for his 4th goal of the game. Just great passing. Pinpoint. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Huskies appear to be content to run out the clock.
Yeah, Jason's been on the other end of games like this too, and he understands that there's no point in rubbing it in. But both staff, coaching staffs, are very classy, and they're not going to pour salt in the wounds or anything like that.
Yeah. 30 seconds left. .20 seconds. That's Redke. Like you said, Brady, just a class move here, rather than going in and trying to score one more needless goal. 5 seconds, and this looks like this contest is going to end with the final score of 13-6. The Pattersonville Huskies come up with their 6th win of the season. North Harford, meantime, will go down at 3-3. We'll come back, we'll wrap it up, we'll talk to some of the stars of the game. Don't go away, we'll be right back. We're back with you at Pattersonville High School, where the Pattersonville Huskies have come up with a big win, their 6th win of the year without a defeat. Connor Madsen, your team, the thing that impresses me about you, the talent you have, but you seem to really care about each other. You look for each other, you're very unselfish.
Yes, sir. We play as a team, and I think we pride ourselves on that. So we're going to continue that through the rest of the season. I think we'll be good. This win tonight, a big win. North Harford is a rival of yours. I think some people don't realize the rivalry between the two schools because you have so much in common. Yes, sir. I think we're a lot alike. We both play as a team. A little bit smaller teams, which we don't actually see a lot, and we got a few big games coming up, so we'll get ready for that. And you're a 1A school, and if folks don't understand, that means you've got a tennis team, you've got a track and field team, you've got a baseball team, so it's hard coming up with enough players to field those teams that are all good, but they are good here. What is there about Patterson Mill that seems to breed good athletics? I think we just have a group of guys that really love lacrosse, and we all love going to practice every day and playing together, so that's all it really takes. So. Very good. 4 goals. Good job. Yes, sir. Thank you. Hang with me a second. Let's turn around and talk to Chance Irvin. Chance, we talked about your speed. I know that's something that God gives you, that speed, not something that you had to practice, but it just gives you such an advantage. That last goal you scored just went and you were one-on-one with the goalie. Talk about the speed that you do have.
Having my speed, it definitely grants me the ability to do some things that guys can't naturally, and I make it a part of my game in just about every facet. I look at the way you pass to each other. Your passing is so crisp. How do you do that? Is it just practice? Does it come naturally? Yeah, practice. I mean, I've been playing with Connor and Kevin for 4 years in high school now, and I've played with them for even more after or before that. And at times I just know where they're going to be, and I can just throw when I know Connor and Kevin are going to handle that, and as the other guys on the team as well. Great. Talk about goals. This year, you're state champions last year. You didn't win the Uckback Chesapeake. Is that one of the goals you have? Yeah, we're 2-0 right now. We got some more games coming up. The opponents are looking really good, and yeah, we're excited for sure. Very good. Hang one second. Let's turn around and talk to Kevin Dyke. Kevin, again, 3 goals along with Chance, 3 goals tonight. We talked about winning it as a junior. I know a goal has to be as a senior going out as a champion. Yeah, that's definitely a goal of ours. We always try to focus on the next game, but we're just trying to get better and better each day at practice and through each game, and hopefully we can achieve what we did last year. Kevin, you came out and scored the first 6 goals of the game. You're up 6-0. Was that a plan that you had to try to come out that fast? Yeah. Tell me about it. Well, like you said, it's an in-county rival. We just got really excited for the game. We knew this is what we needed. If like you were talking about, a chance we wanted to win the Uckback, so we just came out and started firing, and they just started to fall. Well, very good, and they didn't give up. I mean, you were up 6-0, but they ended up closing it, ended up losing at 13-6. But I know you have a lot of respect for that team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a great team. They're really physical, good defense, great offense. But we have a lot of senior leadership, and we're a good, tight group of guys. So even though they put a couple in at the end, we were confident in what we had and our coaches, what they made us practice that we could close out the game and win. Well, I'm very impressed not only with the offense, but your defense played well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a great defense. A lot of upperclassmen. Justin, the goal, played great. Jack and Evan and Pape all played good. Good defense from midfield, good defense from midfielders, good defense from the defenders. We all just played a good, sound game. We had good scouting from our coaches. It was just a good way we executed well today.
Well, the best of luck to all of you. Have a great rest of the season, and we don't want to put any pressure on you, but second state title, that'd be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun. That's the goal.
All right. Well, there they go. We'll let them go and be with their teammates. Brady Green, come on in here. We'll wrap this up. Congratulations, guys. Brady, again, what can you say about this team? The teamwork, the speed they had, just the intensity. They seem to have it all.
They're a talented group of kids. They've played together, most of them, for 4 years. They see each other well. They're great shooters. They play good defense. It would shock me to not see them win a state title this year.
Yeah, I know that's a lot of pressure on this team. And, of course, one of their first goals, they say they want to win the Chesapeake Division. As a 1A school to go up against the big schools and be able to win the Chesapeake, that would be a great accomplishment.
Yeah, I don't think they've done that yet in their since Patterson Mill's been here. So, yeah, I'm certain that would be a good feather in their cap, and I'm certain that they're ripe to do it.
Yeah, you look at the senior leadership now that they have a team that as a junior, they got that success, and now they just want more of it.
Yeah, this is a team to watch.
Looking at the scoring again, 4 goals as we saw from Connor Madsen, 3 goals from Chance Urban, and 3 goals from Kevin Dyke as well. They win it by the final score of 13-6. As we said, they got off to a 6-0 lead. North Harford hung in there, played tough, and played them, like one-on-one, almost, 7-6 was the final score at the end in terms of if you take away that 6 goals, which of course you can't.
Yeah, but they're a talented team, and they North Harford, they won the first face-off. They had a couple opportunities, and they just couldn't finish. And Patterson Mill, their first opportunity, bang, goal, and then then like you said, 6-0 after that. And a team like that, you got to possess the ball in offense. You got to keep it out of their sticks, and slow the ball down a little bit, wheel the ball around, and it's a quality team.
Well, very impressive effort again by the Patterson Mill Huskies. Jason Bellamy, their coach and athletic director. I want to thank him for all the help he always gives us. Makes us feel very much at home here at Patterson Mill. Hope you enjoyed the game. For Brady Green, my partner, Don Morrison, our final score 13-6. The Patterson Mill Huskies win their 6th game of the year without a loss. North Harford is 3-3. Again, thanks for tuning in. Good night, everyone.